What's going on, guys? MariK here. Last week we covered all of the maps for the classic Battlefront 1 game, went over their layouts, and talked strategy for each of the various factions. This week we'll be talking about the maps in Battlefront 2, going over the changes to the maps that have come from the first game, discussing strategies for the new maps that are new to the second game, and going over various strategies for each faction on each map. One of the most popular maps from the original game, Mos Eisley returns exactly as it was. The command posts are exactly the same, the layout's the same, the factions even spawn on the exact same sides that they did in the first game. When playing as the Empire or the clones, I usually head straight for the Cantina's back door. It's the closest command post to any of yours, and so it should theoretically be the easiest one to take. You have to be careful because once you're inside, it is pretty close quarters. There's not a lot of room to evade, put distance between you and enemy units. It doesn't have the most strategic value, however. It is a pretty solid command post to hold on to. It gives you a decent viewpoint over to the area right in front of the hangar. So you can snipe just straight from the doorway if you so choose. That's what we're going to choose to do right now. Most of the action happens at the area in front of the hangar and over where the shops are. You can easily take the shops command post. It doesn't really grant you a whole lot of value here, though, because it is kind of off to the back of the map. It is easy enough to take, though, once you get in there, and you can just hold up in this little corner right here. It's the same strategy I used in the first game, and for the most part, they won't be able to find you. It's usually pretty easy to funnel them out of the entryway to the hangar. I don't know where that shot came from. That was green, though, so it was definitely a Wookiee bowcaster. And the AI themselves will get caught up getting in these damn turrets. I don't really understand why they feel like the turrets are so important to get into, but they just do. The map lends itself to being great for the Dark Troopers Artcaster. When playing as the Empire and the droids, the Empire and the clones, you can take your respective jet troopers up to the top of the hangar and take the command post from above. This is a pretty easy enough strategy because it's really difficult to take this command post from down below. It's just not suited to being taken that early on. You have to be careful, though, because they will spawn up here or they'll just walk up here because for some reason the AI loves being on these turrets. And for players, they probably want to hold this command post because it is just that solid of a command post. You do even have the option, once you've taken the command post, you can run up the wall over here and you can snipe from above. You've got a pretty good vantage point on a lot of the map, specifically the shops. You can see several turrets shooting at each other across the map as well. Let's go ahead and put a stop to that. The AI, for some reason, have this obsession with the turrets on the buildings, and I don't know why, because 9 times out of 10, they don't even do anything on them, so here we go. I don't know. It's like they just line themselves up to be killed. He is now shooting at me from across the way, but I don't know if they can actually hit you with the turrets over here. It's a decent enough way to score some headshots. Get that marksman medal, I suppose. It's more beneficial for having a line of sight to the housing command post, to the entrance to the cantina. If you go over to this side, you've got... Is it this side? This side here. You've got a decent vantage point to the warehouse as well. So being at the top of this map, the top of the hangar command post, you've got a very good vantage point. You have the option of spawning at the market and heading straight for the shops command post. Though I don't really know how much benefit there is to taking this command post. It is the one nearest to the hangar, so it just kind of cut off a little bit of support for them. But the command post itself doesn't really have a lot of strategic use, other than just being a command post you can take from them and kind of trying to funnel their spawns in the hangar and the cantina, which, granted, this is also a spawn point. Oh, hello. This is also a spawn point where you can funnel them in, kill them with a well-placed grenade, rocket, any kind of explosive like the det packs. I don't honestly know at this point if I would rather take the, well, not the Jawa's life. That was not what I was insinuating. If I'd rather take the hangar or if I'd rather take the cantina. Both are difficult to take once you've got the enemy down to only 2 command posts. But I feel like the cantina is probably the better option. I don't know if I would want to leave them with the hangar, but I don't think that many players are going to take advantage of the snipe points on top. So it might be an easy enough command post to just kind of lure them into and just leave it there for them. As you can see, though, the cantina is a really difficult command point to take as well, because it is just so tight quarters. When playing as the Rebels, I'll usually spawn at the cantina and make my way around towards the warehouse. You can kind of take the back alleys, take the warehouse, head towards the housing and take it, and then you're right there with the command post next to the market, which is kind of where a lot of the firefights will happen, depending on the order that command posts are taken. It's definitely that alley, that street in front of, that goes from market to the back of the cantina is usually one of the more busy parts of the map. You run straight across, run through these little back alleys here. And now you've made it to housing. It's really easy to get from those 2 command posts to each other because they're so close, and you can kind of walk through part of the map. There appears to be a gunfight out there. Oh, there appears to be a gunfight in here. Oh, hello. The market is usually a harder command post to take because there's a turret up top of the building. There's usually a turret right here. There's this turret over here. So it's a very heavily fortified command post. Not that the turrets are difficult to deal with, as you can just, a few headshots will deal with any turret operator. Command posts usually trade hands quite a bit on Mos Eisley, as there's just so many ways to get into the command post. There's so much happening on the map altogether. And, yep, as you can see, they're taking the market again. There's just so much that happens on this map. You can kind of stick yourself over in this little corner of the command post. There's a health droid, an ammo droid, and you can kind of just poke out, take pot shots at enemies. You've got basically an infinite amount of grenades to deal with turrets. You do have to just be careful of enemies running up on you like that, and be careful of the turret above you, as it's currently got its sights on me, and now it has its sights on nothing. So that's going to be it for our strategic map overview of Mos Eisley. Again, the strategies are relatively the same as the first game because the map didn't change, no command posts were swapped around, and more or less the same units that worked in the previous game are going to work well in this game for the same strategies. It's just all the same. Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection comes out in just 2 weeks, so we hope to see you on the Battlefront.